Hi. So my 1 week break turned into 2 weeks, but yeah, that's how it goes sometimes. I thought I'd make a post about me going on a break, but then I thought nobody gives a shit anyway, so why bother? But now I am back in business. Too bad this week I only have 2 days when I can properly record or stream. Not counting this one, because I really don't have that much time today, but I have enough time to do this. I thought tomorrow I'd do my first dives against the Illuminate and stream that. And after that, I'm not sure yet. Initially I didn't even have this time, so I thought I'd do this tomorrow, but yeah, we'll see. Maybe at some point I'll actually contribute to major orders, because I don't think I have done that even once, but hopefully, at least, if not this week, next week. But before I get to today's subject, I thought I'd share some thoughts I have every now and then, and for this I apologize. But doing videos and streaming is sort of a hobby for me, where I can detach myself from my everyday life, in addition to the gaming itself. But sometimes I do wonder how I could attract even a bit wider audience. The main problem is I'm broke and don't necessarily have access to the newest titles. Other problems being I usually play what I want to play instead of, let's say, Marvel Rivals, which seems to be the shit currently. But that specific genre hasn't ever really been my thing. And if I eventually decide to try it out, the biggest hype has died out by then, and I feel like I would only play it once or twice, and that's it, anyways. So at least for the moment I feel like I don't want it taking my already low disk space. Besides, I'm just getting started on Helldivers, and I really don't have that much time to begin with. And about how I present myself, I understand that I have mostly monotone voice, but I can't really do anything about it, especially when I'm playing and I don't focus on how I speak. Another thing I can do nothing about is the speed with which I talk. You know, I talk slow, with long pauses, and that's just because my English is shit, and I need to think what I say before I say it. But, well, then again, it was my own choice to do English videos. Partly because I wanted to try and get better at it or something. But honestly, I do that in my own language too, but it's not as bad. And I think I've been rambling a lot about pointless nonsense for too long. Those are just some of my lame-ass problems I have and wanted to vent a bit, sorry about that, but finally to the actual topic, playing with strangers. I stated in my diving introverted video that I don't really feel like diving alone, so if I want to keep diving I need to play with strangers. And there are a couple of things about that I'd like to discuss. These aren't that big problems because the player base is still quite solid, but still. So there are 10 difficulty levels, basically 9 because I don't think anyone plays Trivial for more than that first mission. And that splits the player base quite a bit. Are that many difficulties a bad thing? Not in my opinion, I'm just saying what comes with it. Because I myself have only played up to Extreme, aka level 6, which means there are 4 difficulty levels of players I can't get in contact with. Well, basically 3, because I can play a suicide mission difficulty mission whenever I want to. But Extreme was hard enough even with 4 players, so I think I want to level up a bit more before heading there. And I was going to mention the time I usually properly get to play, but even when the player count is lowest, it's still over 20k on Steam alone, so currently that's not an issue. Of course, the other factors that can split the player base are the enemy factions, especially if you want to focus fighting the Illuminate, for example, and the locations, but I can't see that being an issue. Overall, those are just a matter of preference and shouldn't come in the way of having fun, because if you don't care where you fight, or against who, there are still tons of people who to join. The only possible issue being the difficulty. But anyway, there's always this stress factor when hopping in with strangers. If there are more than one, are they just random people? Or friends who play with each other and I just barge in? Even when they could go private, there are those who play on an open server, because it has happened. Sometimes they kick me when the mission is over, sometimes they appreciate the extra manpower. You can never tell whether you're wanted or not and just have to risk it. You can always go to a mission where there is only one, but in the higher difficulty missions it's going to be, well, difficult. Honestly, I haven't played a single mission above medium, aka level 3, where there hasn't been at least 3 people in a mission, so I wouldn't technically know, but I'd guess. I rarely play during the evening, local time of course, before going to bed when the player count is higher, because it's so goddamn hectic and I'm too wired to fall asleep when I actually get to bed, let alone doing it on higher difficulties. And I don't have that much time to play in the evening, maybe 1 or 2 missions. So if I join for the first mission of a 3-mission operation, I feel bad having to leave before the whole operation is over and having to leave the others 1 man short. But mostly I've enjoyed playing with strangers, even if no one speaks, or if others speak on Discord and I just can't hear them, or if they talk amongst themselves and I just tag along. As long as no one's fucking around too much, I try not to care. The game is fun enough for that to not be an issue. I have to admit, I do get nervous every time I start playing, because I have no clue what kinds of people I'm joining this time, and I want to be sure I have at least 2 hours of time to play, so I don't have to leave before the whole operation is complete. There might be days that when I don't want to deal with that anxiety and just play War Thunder instead. I guess I could possibly do a couple of runs on Marvel Rivals, but like I said, that genre hasn't really been my thing. And what if it ends up being my kind of a game? I can't have anything coming between me and my tedious War Thunder grind. I need to get to fly those jets someday. And like I said, I'm just getting started on Helldivers. If I find something else, I can't do my part for Super Earth anymore. So you could say I'm actively not trying to play anything else at the moment. Where was I? Yeah, there's always this certain level of stress and anxiety when hopping in with strangers. But if I want to play with others, that's the price I have to pay. But yeah, I don't know if I even said anything, but I want to thank you for listening to me rambling about my social issues. Like I said, next one will be me checking out the Illuminate for the first time. But yeah, thanks for watching and